This is Buona.org Radio for April 28, 2008. We're a proud member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. We're also a member of the Blueberry Network at BLUBRRY.com. This is episode 114 of Buona.org Radio. Enjoy the show. Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 114 of Buona.org Radio. Got a great show lined up for you today. And we had a great weekend, my wife and I, and we took some time off, and we actually purchased a game that I'm going to be reviewing this particular episode. I'm pretty sure some of you may know what it is. It came out on Sunday, midnight, Saturday, Sunday, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't stand in line for it. I just went in and into Best Buy, I believe it was, and I picked it up. And I'm gonna leave it as a surprise for you guys to figure out and guess what game that is. So I'm not gonna say it until Super Mario Kart Wii. That was the name of the game, Super Mario Kart Wii. My wife and I have been playing that. She liked it a lot more than I did back in the day on the Super NES. So that was the primary factor of getting it. And she's having a blast. So seeing her having that much fun makes me have that much fun. So but we got a great show lined up, and if you want to have fun, why don't you purchase your own domain name over at GoDaddy.com. Use the promo code BRAY1. That's BRAY1 when you check out, and you can save 10% on any order when you check out at GoDaddy.com. So I got about 8 stories and 1 tech product review, so it may be a little bit long of a show, but I'm going to try to keep it to the point. I'm not going to try to deviate and to elaborate too much. I know some people like the elaboration, some people like the news, so I'll try to do a mixture of both. Got a great show lined up for episode 114 of Buona.org Radio. Yep, Mondays are always rusty. And for our tech news for episode 114 of Buona.org Radio, the first story is about Twitter. The Twitter story I'm going to talk about is Twitterly. Twitterly, and it's a site. It's one of those yet another sites. It's yet another Twitter aggregation site. And the purpose of aggregation sites is to get all the bestest links from Twitter and put them all on one web page and put an RSS feed on it so you can subscribe to it. Twitterly has apparently done something a little bit different that I haven't found yet. It does show you some of the popular tweets. It tells you how many times a link was tweeted, who said it, and it kind of tracks the conversation around that, which I think what makes it a little bit unique. Other sites I've seen like this, they simply posted a link and told you what the link was about. They didn't tell you who was talking about it and what they said. So go check this out over at twitterly.com. That's TWITT-URL. Get it? URL. Funny. URLY.com. And you can see what I'm talking about. And speaking of Twitter, the next story is about Twitter. And the story comes from Mashable.com. And it's something that I kind of agree with. It's that companies who have a presence on the web should be using Twitter to manage their brand. And I think I briefly talked about this in the last episode about how Comcast and other companies are now on Twitter monitoring every time somebody says their company name. And if there's a problem, they try to engage in customer support via Twitter. They're using it as yet another mechanism for customer support. So this story over on Mashable.com says, not using TweetScan to manage your brand. TweetScan is a Twitter search engine. You're not doing your job. Well, I wouldn't go that far. But I do think that Twitter is a good place to manage word of mouth. A lot of people who are on the edge of technology are using Twitter to vent. They're using Twitter to get recommendations for products. They're using Twitter to see how someone thinks about a certain product or service, and they take that word as gospel. So if one were to control that, one were to manage that as a company, you might have a better success rate with word of mouth on Twitter. So go check out this article over on Mashable.com. They give an example about discus and some other thing. I really didn't care about that. The headline caught my eye, and that's something I've been kind of wondering about the entire time. And let's hope that companies continue to do this. Verizon. Verizon has added 263,000 new Fios TV customers in Q1 2008. 263,000, and I'm not one of them. So why do I care about this story? I don't know. I figure you might care about it because I want Fios. I want Fios. I want Fios. It's a fiber optic connection. Super fast internet. It's like the Flash, DC Comics, Flash. Pew! Want to download the file? I got it. I downloaded that file before I left my finger off the mouse button. Oh, I'm downloading that file. Oh, you're trying to download that file? I downloaded it 2 days ago when you told me to download it today. It's that time traveling nonsense. That's how fast it is. So I want it. I don't have it, but kudos to Verizon. They are making an effort to get files out to as many people as possible, and they're not too big in Florida. They're in Tampa and then that western Florida region, but they're not in my area. I'm in AT&T, Uverse land, and I'm suffering for it. But what can you do? What can you do? One Password, the application, One Password for Mac is the application to handle all your passwords via One Password. It's a great application for managing passwords and forms with your browsers. It works with Firefox, Safari, and a host of other browsers. Today, they've announced that they've launched anti-phishing support. Phishing, spelled with PH, is a technique that a lot of scammers use to harvest your data. They pose as one site saying that, hey, you need to update your security information. Click here to log in and update your banking information. And they use a fake website to harvest your username and password, and they go and steal all your money. So that's what phishing is. One Password is working to help that effort. I mean, IE7 has anti-phishing in it. Gmail has anti-phishing. I believe Firefox has some anti-phishing mechanisms in there because it's a big problem. A lot of people on the internet, they get suckered into this stuff because they receive an email that looks just like the real thing. It has the logos. I mean, the links in most cases even look right, but coupled with DNS hacks and all kinds of URL shaping techniques, these scammers have become high tech. So it's good to see that One Password is trying to do something about this and trying to help satisfy the issue and solve the problem. Speaking of Firefox, you guys have if you've ever used Firefox, you probably have installed a Firefox extension. Extensions are little programs that add little functionality to Firefox. Well, here's a little tip from Lifehacker, which I thought was kind of cool. It's for the impatient people like me. It tells you how to skip the installation delay. How to skip the installation delay of Firefox extensions. If you ever installed a Firefox extension, you notice that when you click the install and the little window pops up, it counts down. It's like 5, 4, 3, and you're like, come on, come on, come on, and it finally counts down to 0, and then you install there's 5 seconds of your life you could have had back. So if you're impatient like me, then you might want to check out this little trick over on Lifehacker, which disables that countdown, so you can install it right away. And I think it's something that I'm going to do locally on my machine. I haven't talked about FriendFeed in a couple of days, and I guess I'm overdue. This is about an application that I saw over on lewisgray.com, and it's called FriendFeed Machine. And a guy has wrote this entire big colossus web application, which kind of seems redundant, around FriendFeed. So it's this big Ajaxy application that takes the data from your friend feed and allows you to sort it and manipulate it and do all kinds of things. It's basically rewritten the entire friend feed interface if you think about it. But friend feed is a web page itself, so you kind of wonder, is it worth moving over? But this article that I'm going to post, it talks about how they've speeded up the interface and they cleaned it up and they added a stream view. So I thought this was interesting, even though I am not going to use it personally. I thought that some of you out there may want to check it out if you are a fan of FriendFeed and if you want to sort data by likes or comments and things like that you can't do in the normal interface, but you can do through FriendFeed machine. Well, you ever cooked in the sun before? With a barbecue, family, friends out playing basketball, playing volleyball, playing touch, kids running around shooting each other with water hoses, family and friends cracking jokes, father and uncles playing cards around the table. Isn't that nice? But what if you didn't have that? What if you didn't have a barbecue? What if you didn't have family? Anyway, this story, the next story is another story from Lifehacker that I bookmarked a couple weeks ago because I wanted to start getting into this kind of stuff and it's kind of cool. It tells you how to cook with the sun, because the sun is a giant source of energy and heat. So why not cook with it? This contraption that they describe over on Lifehacker involves a parabolic curve, a cooking utensil, a reflective surface, which includes aluminum foil, polished stainless steel mirrors, etc., and this edge wider than your cooking utensil. So it's this contraption that kind of looks like a wedge, and you reflect the heat and the light from the sun to generate enough energy and enough heat to cook your food. Now this is very very interesting in my mind because I went to college for this stuff and I find it fascinating. It's called a DIY solar cooker, courtesy of DIY Life. And this is something that I'm probably going to try to build myself one of these weekends. And if I do, I'll let you guys know. But I found it very, very interesting, and I'm definitely going to try it. And our final story, we're going to talk about BitRipper. BitRipper, and I've talked about Handbrake a lot on the show, on this show and my other show, on my video podcast. And both of these applications serve to rip DVDs you own, DVDs you've bought. Let me make that clear. DVDs you've bought with your own blood, sweat, and tears or what have you. You've bought these DVDs and you want to rip them so you can watch them on your computer. You can watch them on your iPod, your Zune, your PSP, your PlayStation 3, your Xbox 360, your whatever. Your iPhone, your iPod Touch. All these devices. BitRipper is yet another application designed to do that in one click. You pop in your DVD, you click rip, and it rips it to the format that you want to do it. And this is a freeware application that I found over on lifehacker.com. I have never used this one. I've always used Handbrake. But I recommend you give this one a try if you're looking for something a little bit different from Handbrake. So this is something that, like I said, I want you to proceed with caution and just be a good citizen. Don't rip other people's DVDs. Don't go, hey, can I borrow your DVDs, and just rip everybody else's stuff. And there's laws around this stuff that some of it's still been worked out, but just be careful with this tidbit of knowledge. And for our tech product review, well, I have not heard that music in a long time. I forgot what that little segment sounded like. For our tech product review, I'm going to be reviewing a brand new game for the Nintendo Wii, which was released this past Sunday. And the game is called Super Mario Kart Wii. And I want to make this a little bit, just a little bit shorter than my typical tech product reviews because I've only had it for a couple days. And first off, let me tell you some of the new features that came with this game. from previous versions of Super Mario Kart Wii. First one is that it comes with a what's called a Wii wheel, and this is a peripheral that you plug your Wii remote into, and you can actually use this as a steering wheel without a wire, without a base, without some attachment. This is something new because steering wheels up to now have had a base, they've had some kind of an attachment, they've been on some table or something. This thing free floats in your hand, so you're driving it like a wheel without, without a pipe or axle or anything to connect it to the whatever steering column. Another new feature that it comes with is online play, and this is huge in my mind. This is absolutely, just gigantor huge. You can play with anybody in the world who has the same game on the Nintendo Wii. You can race against them, and that is a cool feature. The next thing is that you can drive as your Nintendo Mii. A Mii is a avatar that you create as yourself. I haven't done this personally, but I did see it in the stat sheet, so I am going to talk about it. You can drive as your Mii if you don't want to drive as Mario or Baby Mario or as Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong or Wario, or all the huge Mario universe. If you don't want to drive as one of those guys, you can drive as your crusty old Mii. Another thing you can do, you can ride motorcycles. You can ride motorcycles on this game, and this is something new. I mean, we've been playing motorcycle video games all along, but Mario Kart now has motorcycles. And I'm gonna do a video of this. When you get on the motorcycle and start popping wheelies and doing all kinds of tricks, becomes a little bit different, and that's in a good way. It becomes different, and the handles are it's a little bit weird. Driving a motorcycle with a steering wheel, I'll get into that a little bit, but it's a little bit weird, but once you get used to it, it's pretty cool. And finally, it's called a Mario Kart channel, the next thing, and this allows you to enter tournaments, view rankings. You know what a channel is. If you have a Nintendo Wii, you know what a channel is. It comes up as a little box on your main page, on your main screen on the Wii, and you can go to that channel directly. Excuse me. You can go to that channel directly, and then from there you can go there, you can enter the contest, and you can add friends and exchange Wii codes, free friend codes, and things to the like. So now that I've told you about the features, let me tell you, I'm going to start with my dislikes, because I always like to start with my dislikes first. I like to end on a good note. My dislikes. Number one, one of the things I dislike about Mario Kart Wii is the notion of a friend code. And if you've been watching my Twitter, you probably have heard me say this. Super Smash Bros. Brawl has a friend code, its own friend code. Super Mario Kart Wii has yet another friend code. Within the Nintendo Wii, you have yet another friend code. So that's 3 codes that you have to remember, and these are not easy codes. The Mario Kart Wii code is 12 digits. The Super Smash Bros. Code is 16 digits. The Wii code is 16 digits. These are not easy to remember. They're very user unfriendly, and it's something that I hope Nintendo improves on. The next thing that I don't like about Super Mario Kart Wii is that it doesn't offer the experience. It doesn't, I have to be careful how I word this. It's the same game. I mean, I talked about some of the new features, and it's a classic, and a lot of people will argue with this. Will say, don't mess up a classic. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's the same game. If you played Mario Kart DS, if you played Mario Kart Wii, GameCube, N64, Super NES, if you put aside the new features I talked about, you essentially have almost the same exact game. So I don't want to call it lack of innovation, but if you've played one Mario Kart, you've almost played them all, save these new features that I talked about. And that's something that's inherent in Nintendo games. It's not necessarily a bad thing for some people. It's something some people like. They when they go to a Nintendo, they know what to expect. This is Mario Kart. This is Smash Brothers. That's why I was so adamant and so happy when I saw Super Mario Galaxy, because it was out of this world different. It was so different from anything that I have seen from anyone. It was just so different. It was so innovative. That's why I made it one of my games of the year for 2007. You know, it was the bomb. But Smash Brothers, Mario Kart Wii, it's the same stuff. So those are the two things that stood out to me that I didn't like. Like I said, I want to keep this short. I can talk all day about this, but one of the things that I did like, and I was surprised that I did like it, was the Wii wheel. This wheel works surprisingly well. If you looked at it, you probably thought it was a gimmick. You probably thought it wouldn't respond. It fits the casual gameplay of the Nintendo Wii perfectly. I tell you what, because I was watching my wife play. I was in there studying her like Albert Einstein. That's interesting. When she was driving, I used to play racing games with my family growing up. And when they picked up the controller and they turned left, they would move their body. They would move, their whole body language would move in the direction they want to go. If they want to stop, they would move back. If they want to go forward, they would actually stand up, move the controller towards the television. The body motion was getting into it. And as they turned, they actually turned the controller as well. This is what, this was the research behind PS3 6-axis and, Nintendo Wii motion controls. People move with video games. The Nintendo Wii's wheel for Mario Kart Wii captures this perfectly, and I can't tell you. I thought it was going to be a huge learning curve. I got it in like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. I instantly got it. I mean, just the only thing I had to adjust to was just the amount of amount of turn that I need to do to turn, and now I'm drifting. So I got it. It's absolutely wonderful. So the Wii wheel is definitely something that I like. And number two thing that I like, and you probably already guessed this because I was gawking over it in the beginning, is the online play. And I don't know if this was set up by Smash Brothers or not, because I was so disappointed. I mean, I had such high hopes for Super Smash Brothers Brawl for the Wii. It had online play, and it just did not live up to what I wanted it to be. The online is so frustrating that I didn't even want to play it anymore. I just play local now. Super Mario Kart Wii is the direct antagonist of that. It's the opposite of that. Aside from the stupid code, they did it. They did it right. You go in, you say, I want to play online. It says, okay, you want to play regional, you want to play worldwide, and I think there was another choice. I don't remember. You pick one of those, and you say, okay, I want to do versus or battle. If you ever played Mario Kart Wii, you know what I'm talking about. You do versus or whatever. Then it goes, okay, boop, 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 boop. Literally 5 seconds later, you got 12 people waiting to play with you. I mean, it's instant. It's like bing, 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 bing. And it's so uniform and so seamless. It promotes online play. This game will make people want to play online more, because if you ever play any game online, one of the most frustrating aspects about online gameplay is getting in the game. I can't stress that enough. One of the most frustrating parts about playing online is actually getting into a game. Once you've gotten there, it's fine. Finding a game stinks. Halo had this problem on the Xbox. Matchmaking was a mess. It was all over the place. Even on PC games. Finding a game is the most frustrating part. You get a server list, you got to find a game, who number of players, is my ping okay, is this okay, It's frustrating. Mario Kart Wii takes that all out. It takes it all out. And other game makers, even though Nintendo is behind on the online front, what they did with this game is nothing short of amazing, because it takes the frustration out of finding somebody to play with. It's like going out to the playground And you want to play with me? You want to play with me? You want to play with me? You want to play? Everybody says no. So you're out there asking, do you want to play with me? And by the time you start playing, you don't want to play anymore. It's gone. So Mario Kart Wii, you're walking out to the playground. Anybody want to play? Yes, I do. So that's my thoughts on Super Mario Kart Wii. I think it is a good title. It suffers from some of the issues I just have with Nintendo in general. So some people may look at that and gloss over it, which is fine. This is my personal opinion. I just have issues with the way Nintendo does things. But it doesn't take away from the good parts. That Wii Wheel, these are the innovative things they've done with this new title. The Wii Wheel and the online play, absolutely amazing. And you're going to love motorcycles. So, I hope you enjoyed my review of Nintendo Super Mario Kart for the Wii. And you can pick it up for, I believe, $49.99. And the Wii Wheel costs, no, I believe it's $39.99. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But the Wii Wheel, I got the two wheels and a game for like $65. So I got a pretty good deal over at Best Buy because they had the game and the wheel for like, I don't know, I forget. It was a deal. But the Wii wheel costs $9, $9.99 or $10, and the game costs $50. So it'll set you back about $60 to get the wheel in the game. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you got a Nintendo Wii, you're gonna enjoy it. If you don't, there's a lot out there. Nintendo apparently was stockpiling Wiis in anticipation for Super Mario Kart Wii. So a lot of people who wanted Wiis are now getting them. And now's the time to jump in. And now my super. Hold on, let me get my friend code here. I'm gonna get it from my chat room real quick. My Mario Kart friend code is 1032 1640 8449. If you missed that, just rewind it. That's my Mario Kart win code. Look me up. We can race each other. I'll be definitely looking for getting a blue turtle on you and running you over with a bullet or a star and all that good stuff. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this review of Mario Kart for the Wii. All right, folks, that concludes episode 114 of Buona.org Radio. I tried to keep it short. It's 27 minutes, around 28 minutes right now. So I think I did pretty good to do a few stories and actually throw on a tech product review in a long time. Man, it's been a long time since I did a tech product review on this show. I've been doing a lot of that stuff on the video. I want to remind you guys, I'm having a logo giveaway, a Buona.tv logo. I keep saying giveaway. A Buona.tv logo contest. I've been holding so many giveaways. I keep saying it. A Buona.tv logo contest. You create a logo for me, and if I like it, I'm going to pick it tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on live.buona.tv. Tomorrow, that's Tuesday, April 30th, on live.buona.tv. I'm sorry, April 29th on live.buona.tv. And if I like it, I'm going to hook you up with some apparel with that logo in use. It's going to take a little time. I have to upload it to Cafe Press, and we may have to tweak it a little bit. And then once I do it, I got to order it and then get it to you. So maybe a week or two or something like that before you actually get it. But submit your entries. You got one more day. Go to Buona.tv and look for the link that says Buona.tv logo contest. It's right next to the Buona.tv live link. All right, folks, that concludes episode 114 of Buona.org Radio. And I will see you next time.